had some self-control there, so I do want to apologize for that. But the moments of reflection I am sharing are deeply personal. They're going to be a little different from the others you've heard today. And some of it may even be difficult to sit with. But it's my truth. It's my experience, and it's my reflection. And I do hope for what my mother and I began to build in the time we were given, that you will feel joy in your heart. I wasn't even sure that I would speak today or even come. But there's something sacred about honoring truth in the presence of silence. For many years, as most of you know, there was a strained relationship between my mother and I. Not because I didn't love her, because I loved her very much, but because of the pain I carried from matters that happened in my childhood. My mother wasn't the cause of the harm, but her decision to shield someone who harmed me, a young, innocent girl, left a wound I struggled to heal, and it created a wall between us for many years. And yet, in her own way, my mother began showing up differently. We never fully unpacked the past, but we did begin to rebuild something that resembled a relationship. Her presence, especially in the last few years, gave me a glimpse of what could have been. And it is that glimpse I hold on to with gratitude. I will always remember the laughter we shared during our trip to North Carolina when she came to support my book, Tough Skin, A Journey of Survival and Persevering Life's Challenges. I recall our trip, we had stopped at the gas station and she had got out to pump gas. The next thing we knew, she was driving off with the hose still attached to the car. All we heard was a loud clunk. And we both looked back like, what was that? And all we saw was the gas hose dragging along behind us while we're going off the parking lot. We cracked up laughing so long after that. Her gut-busting laugh was hilarious. You know, I can't recall a time we laughed so hard, and it felt so good. It felt like, for once in a long time, this grief in particular is different. I'm not only grieving the loss of my mother, I'm grieving the life she actually lived that many didn't know. I'm grieving the years I was hopeful that we still had. My mother wasn't a woman of many words, but she longed deeply for love. Her childhood was filled with difficulty, being removed from her parents' home in New Jersey and brought to Maryland to be raised by family for a chance at having a better life. It was that yearning for love that stayed with her and sometimes caused her to accept things that many wouldn't. When I was a minor, I experienced sexual abuse, multiple instances of it, at the hands of my stepfather, who is here today. A man that I have not been in the presence of in a shared space for over 30 years until now. That is not something I say for shock or attention. It is said to honor the little girl who almost decided not to come honor her mother because of his presence. I carried great pain far too long and believe deep down my mother carried this pain as well. We don't need more bridges built on silence or avoidance, which is why I'm here. We need ones built on accountability and healing. And with that, I'm glad I showed up, despite how I showed out earlier. And despite my discomfort. To my mother, thank you. Thank you for showing up in ways you knew how. Thank you for driving with me to North Carolina. Thank you for laughing so hard that it made us cry. Thank you for letting me bring you on that stage, both physically and symbolically, as I shared my story with the world. I also want to thank my mother for how she supported my children. She showed up to AJ's football games, cheered at Natalie's basketball tournament on another road trip to North Carolina, and stood proudly at her marching band performances. All the moments I longed for in my own childhood. The ones I missed because I was removed from the home due to the abuse. She gave those moments to my children, and through them, I got to witness a version of her that I didn't get to experience growing up. And that mattered to me. She showed up, and I saw her in ways I had never seen her before. Our ending wasn't perfect, but it was ours. And it was the beginning of a new leaf turned. To my family, friends, Deacon Owens, I see you back there, First Lady Streeter, represent Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, Honey Lane's church. They're my family too. To the love of my life and my extended family, and my daughter. And those who traveled from near and far to be here, Ilka, Yolanda, Aunt Stella, Uncle Lenny, everyone. Your presence speaks volumes. Your support holds me up. Lord knows I needed it today. And you are appreciated. Uncle Glenn, I know you said on the phone, but my brother started it when we called to thank you. And I want to thank you again. And I know you don't want to make a big thing out of it, a big deal, but we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And I also have another dedication to my mother. You can actually find it, y'all may want to jot this down, at wearesave.org. That's WEARESAVE.org. And navigate to In Her Memory. Thank you.